Howdy ho, guys and gals. Jeff King here in the Den of Tools. Well, taking it easy, sitting here on the couch because I want to have a conversation with you about something that I get a lot, something I hear a lot, something we hear in society and I hear in the comments and across videos on YouTube, and that is that you need to think like a pro. You need to train like a pro. You need to act like a pro. You need to be a pro. All this stuff. Be a pro this, be a pro that. And I'm here to tell you something you don't want to hear. Professional is really just somebody who gets paid to do their job long term. At the end of the day, the professional is an employee, and I'm here to get you to go to that next level. I want you to level up. I want you to, and the sooner you do this, the more dividends it's going to pay you over your career, over your life. And that is, stop thinking or stop aspiring to be a professional and be an owner. Owners take a more holistic, whole world kind of approach from the top to the bottom. People think they just focus on the bottom line. That's not true. But you know what? They do pay attention to the bottom line. And far too often I see professionals not paying attention to the bottom line. I'll get a comment, one that really always irks me, and that is, it doesn't matter how much I pay for this tool because I make money with my tools. That may be something a professional might say. You know who would never say that? An owner. An owner is never going to tell you it doesn't matter how much it costs, because at the end of the day, they own the business. It's a business. It's about making money, and money is profit versus loss. And if you spend too much on your tools, you're going to lose money. Or you are going to, even if you don't lose money, you are going to inhibit your ability to make money, to prosper, and to be prosperous in the long term. Now, this comes about in a lot of different ways. And it comes from either, if you're buying one tool, that's great. You may buy, say you buy a Snap-on wrench or something, that's fine. But if you buy Snap-on across the board, that you're going to end up buying hundreds and hundreds of tools. That's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars. If you're spending twice as much, 3 times as much, 4 times as much on every one of those tools, at the end of the day, your expenses are going to multiply 3, 4, 5 times as much. You could be taking that money and spending that money elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying not to buy these tools. I'm not saying you can't have the best tools out there. What I'm saying is focus on your core, okay? I had a judo sensei once tell me, take 3 moves and make them your own. Learn everything, but master these 3 because you're going to keep going back to them. Well, in business, it's the same thing. And whether your business is being a carpenter or being an HVAC or being, a plumber or whatever, there are tools that you use every single day. If you use that ratchet every single day, that's great. But what if it's a stubby ratchet? Let's talk about a stubby ratchet. A Snap-on 3/8 stubby, I think it runs just over $100. I could buy a Tecton set of a 1/4 inch and a 3/8 stubby for $30, $40. Are they going to be just as good? Well, in my opinion, I think honestly that they will. But even if you don't, they're going to be so close as to not make a difference considering how often you use them. Like, say you're a professional finish carpenter, let me get that out there, and you go on site. One of the biggest issues, if you're working on site, especially in homes, you're doing cabinetry work, maybe hopefully a lot better than that. You're doing cabinetry work, and a big issue, if they still live there, if they're still present, is dust. Okay, so getting a DeWalt or a Makita or any of the other miter saws just isn't going to cut it when it comes to dust collection. There's only one solution really for you, and that's the Festool. Now, the Festool miter saw is going to run you $1,500, but that's a make or break tool for that job. So that one you can easily justify. But let's say every once in a while you also need to grind down some nails or some studs or something. You need a grinder, but you don't use it every job. Or if you do, it's only for 5 minutes of light duty work. Do you need a $600 Festool cordless grinder? No. No, get the Bosch. Bosch makes a $40 basic grinder that is just fabulous. It'll do the job every single time. And at the end of the day, the work won't change. But your bottom line will. And that's where being an owner, that owner mindset, the professional is going to be like, well, I like having all my tools like this, and I like them all being the same and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, the business owner doesn't care. Business owner goes, how much am I getting for this? They don't sit there and go, it doesn't matter because I make money with these tools. They go, what's the most I can get out of this by spending the least? That's what an owner mindset's going to get you over a professional mindset. Now you're like, well, what does that mean to me? Well, you take that difference in money and you invest it in more tools. You invest in more options. You invest it in better skill sets, better training. You put it in your 401k and you multiply that, and you retire by the time you're 50 and get to live in an RV or travel the U.S. or do whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe it's go out fishing every weekend. At the end of the day, you are more important than the job, okay? And skills are more important than tools. And that's not something you're going to hear on a lot of tool channels. But I want to be honest with you because I actually do care about your lives and your careers and the people who watch this channel. I want you to prosper. I want you to take it to the next level. I was at I went with my son to a local bike shop here over in Boulder City, a little town outside of Vegas here. And great bike shop, beautiful place. And we walked to the back, and I see the technician they got there. He's rolled in his toolbox there, and it is a 72-inch Snap-on Epic. It's a 10 grand toolbox when you bought it new. And he's used it to fix and use on bike parts. Now, hey, if you got the money to throw at that and you don't care and you're rich and stuff, whatever, that's on you. I'm not your daddy. I'm not here to tell you it's wrong. But I can tell you from a business standpoint, as somebody who's worked their way up from the bottoms, from somebody who's done manual labor and construction and run wire and worked their way into tech and into eventually running a multi-million-dollar business, I can tell you no business owner is going to make that decision. An employee will make the decision. A professional will make that decision. A business owner would be like, no, it doesn't. The bottom line on that doesn't add up. In fact, at the end of the day, you have to go, is this a real purchase or is this an ego purchase? Am I doing this for Gucci factor? So I can look at my tools and be all proud and think like I'm a professional. I got all these matching tools and they look cool and they're intimidating and all this stuff. Or am I doing it because they actually work and I'm getting I'm wringing every cent out of every tool. And you remember, you're the business. All right, especially if you're in one of those jobs where they make you buy your own tools. Can you imagine being an office worker, walking into your first day and they take you to your cubicle and there's nothing there? Like, you got to buy your desk, go buy your computer, bring all your stuff in. No other person, no other career would expect that. But yet in the trades, we are expected to do that. We're expected to show up to work with the basic tools and do all the stuff ourselves. Now, maybe some of you are lucky enough to be in a job where, hey, they provide those tools, and that's great. But if you're not, you got to think about it. If you have to bring your own supplies, if you have to bring your own tools, you are a business inside another business. And you need to start thinking that way because they're not thinking about what's best for you. Only you will ever think about what's best for you, and only you as an owner will think about what's best for you. If you're a homeowner, a business owner, whatever it is, the owner always thinks at that next level. And that's what I want you all to do. So stop thinking like, don't even think, there's a cheesy quote, don't be a businessman, be the business man. Yeah, it's cheesy, but I hope I've helped you kind of just rotate your worldview on this, because if you walk in, even if you work at a shop, you work at a dealership, you work on site or whatever, you walk in and you're like, I'm the business. And how am I going to increase my business productivity today? And if you go out and you buy all DeWalt or all Snap-on or all Milwaukee or all anything, and you're like, I'm Team Yellow, I'm Team Blue, you're being a fanboy. You're not being a business owner. The only fan that should be on your job site is a job site fan, not you. The tools aren't going to come and make you breakfast in the morning. They're not going to take care of you when you're old and sick. And don't give me this thing. People always try to give me this thing like, well, I can buy a Snap-on toolbox for $10,000 because 10 years or so, I can sell it and get $5,000 back, and that's the same price as that cheap box. Well, if that cheap box is $5,000, and you don't want to admit it, you fanboys don't want to admit it, in 10 years, I can sell that and get half that price back as well. I know, I've done it. And I see it all the time. I follow all these markets. It's what I do. And so they're being dishonest with that argument. And if someone else is being dishonest with you, that's one thing. If you're being dishonest with yourself, you're letting yourself down. You're letting your family down. Anyway, I don't want to preach to you too much longer. I just wanted to help you get to that next level and change your mindset. Stop thinking like a pro. Take it to the next level and think like the business owner. Be the owner, because at the end of the day, no one's going to take care of you but you. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.